doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. It's hard to.
Yeah, I said, what a nice pad you got there. That was so cool. I love it. The whole
Thanks, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I like
is that your
to,
house or is that
relax.
like your buddy's place?
No, this is my bedroom, actually.
Ah, damn, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. So, I like to wake up early, and I kind of got like my music set up here. I got like open space. You might notice a little ball here. I kind of like hit it, you know.
Nice.
It's like
Doing
nice
it.
cool down spot. Yeah, exactly. Get those head movements and
That's
stuff.
right.
How you been, dude?
I
I
was just
love
gonna
the
ask you the
posters.
same, man. How you been? I saw you've been flipping in Six Flags and stuff. So,
Oh man, I've been actually messing myself up this year.
oh no.
Yes, not training smart, but learning and learning powerful stuff, man. Like great advice and it's a kendama. So this is called the ken, I believe, and this is called the dama, and then like there's a little hole in it, and a lot of trickers are using it nowadays. So
Really?
like yeah, so at Tricktoberfest and a couple other gatherings, I think like NOLA too. Um, they've been like having competitions for this. So like it's like a cool like I don't know. I was talking to Bash. She's the owner of Trick Dynamics,
Nice.
and she was yesterday. I work for them now, which is cool.
Oh,
Um,
sweet.
yeah, so I'm coaching all the time. But she was just saying like she got a so the whole tricking tour, U.S. tricking, they were staying at her house, and just about all of them just like are sick at this, like so nasty. And we're starting to see it in the tricking community. Is just like a cool down exercise. It's good for your mind. You want to use your knees while you do it, so it's good for like mobility.
It's like the hacky sack for tricking.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
man.
like it's very interesting, man. It's like simple contraption, but like yeah, what a thing it does for your mind.
I know, dude. People are crazy with this stuff. They'll like swing it like this. Davenport, he came through to Battle of Fury, Autumn.
Oh,
So like,
right, right. Okay, I'm
yeah, dude.
there.
And he was playing with this, and like he was doing some sick stuff. So he's known for his Websters. They're pretty sick. He
Nice.
like he did some cool like spinny thing, caught it, and then like caught it like on the spike, and then like Webster. I was like, that's so like
What?
incorporating tricking with this, like that's so sick. So
What's up, guys? This is Warrior Republic. I'm Matt, and with me, I'm always trying to find martial artists, athletes, and inspiring people to bring on. What they have me today is one of the warriors you'll get to know, a warrior within. This is Chris Matthews, and we're going to talk about tricking. So, how are you, man?
hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Chris Matthews, or Hydrate. A lot of people call me Hydrate because that's my like uh I don't know, just I'm always have water on me. I always had like this big jug in like high school, and like so they call me Hydrate. So but either way, I'm good, man. I'm great. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, trying to master the mind. That's what my last couple months have been.
Mm,
I got sick, right? So I got terribly sick, and so I have this stomach disease. Had it most of my life from like 18 actually on. It's called sickling
yeah.
and vomiting syndrome. It gives you pain and nausea, and that
Ooh.
shit will make me so bad, I'll just throw up and I'll have nothing left to me. Kind of like somebody with COVID, like when they're on a respirator and they can't eat, they can't do anything, and then they
Ooh,
become really.
yeah.
It's like that, but worse because it feels like a midget's in my stomach just punching me, and I'm just throwing up.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, it's
Dude,
terrible.
that sounds awful actually. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Are you okay now?
Um, you know what? It's weird now. I'm like in one of the best shape I've ever been in. I
Really?
got like a six pack. I never had a six pack before. Like I just been eating right. My
Wow.
mindset's right. I'm just trying to revamp most of the things that I think about in my life. So yeah.
I love that, man. And like one of the biggest like things I see from that is like it's like life's like a roller coaster. You get so low and you get so low you can't go any lower, so you just go up, and it's a high up, and like it seems like you're right there, man.
I love what you
And
just said. Absolutely. Life's got a kind of a, it's like a drug, like sometimes there are the beautiful, you're at Six Flags, you got a roller coaster up, and then sometimes that ecstasy, that really good stuff that happens, you even normalcy is going to bring you down. Let's just talk
Mm,
about before like tricking and stuff like that.
yeah,
Let's
man.
just talk about like how everybody's feeling. Like this whole
Sure.
like way people are and the pandemic and all that.
Yeah.
We're talking about the mind and mindset. So like have there been things from this pandemic or this like anything that's brought you to a stronger mind or mindset? Have you learned more about yourself? Because I don't want to talk too much, but I know I have. So I'm interested from you.
Honestly, I it really opened my eyes because I've always like wanted to do something and kept like going. Like if I wanted a job, I would get the job. There hasn't been like one job I haven't gotten. I've had like plenty, and I always end up like wanting something so bad. And when I get it, I'm like, oh, actually, I never really wanted this to begin with. I guess I'm addicted to the feeling of achieving. So
Wow,
like,
nice.
yeah, my resume looks crazy because I've worked so many places, but they've all been places that I've learned and all that. But the pandemic, as soon as it hit, I lost my job. And guess what I did? Literally the next day, I used to work at Walgreens. I went there and I literally got the job on the spot. So like I was working there through the pandemic, and I was only like a temp, like a 30-day like hire, and I quit 25 days in, uh, and then went back to my old job. So I was working throughout that pandemic,
Oh
and
wow.
that was literally my choice though. Like I could have like just said no, I don't need to like everyone's staying home, like I'm gonna stay home too. But like no, it showed me that like I love to work, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I like tricking. Like if we kind of just go to that real quick, like I train all the time, and that's just because of like uh just just the love, the passion. And I honestly can see that a lot of people through this pandemic have got, not everyone, but a lot of people have somewhat discovered their passions or found interest, because like if we go back to work, everyone's always working, and you need money to live. And like props to you, man. You have a YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel, just
Cool.
making
Awesome.
music for now, but Hydrate is going to turn into something for sure. But yeah, man, we're doing a podcast right now. Like this is awesome. And the pandemic, like last year, like people, I feel bad for so many businesses, dude, especially martial arts schools, and like a lot of those hands-on uh careers that people have, they couldn't work, but people made it work. Zoom and stuff. It's not the same though. Like
It's like
um
opportunity may close in one way, but you got to find a way to adapt. You have to find a way to
yeah,
like, make it work
yeah.
for you. So like, I don't know. I've had so many places like restaurants close around me. Pizzerias are kind of still
mm,
thriving though, and like little
yeah.
stuff you can take out. But like you said, martial arts, like, oop, you bleep.
Man,
All right, good.
I love the posters in the back, and I honestly like
Nice.
it's a life goal of mine to get into the UFC. I've
Yo,
seen
yo,
three
holy
people do
shit.
it.
Oh man, I love it. Let's go.
I'm actually tricking right now just so I can, it sounds weird, but like really like get good at like my jump. I use it as a workout for fighting. Like I love grappling. I just gotta touch up on my striking, so that's why I practice striking. Like I've been doing it a little more, but like that's my passion, bro. But low
Nice,
key, like
nice.
I love tricking and always will. And like I really, but money wise and career wise, like I'm in the mixed martial arts like
That's awesome. So
game.
just to let people, we'll go and touch on tricking for a sec. But how
Uh,
awesome is that? Like I'm someone who absolutely loves and grew up with combat sports and martial arts, UFC. I don't watch football. I don't watch baseball. Like
I
that's
don't
my
either.
sport. Like
Yeah,
so.
right.
Just tell people really quick. They don't understand like how crazy it is. Somebody tricks, and then they go and do martial arts, mixed martial arts. So please tell anybody what the hell is tricking.
Tricking is acrobatic movements. You could describe it as martial arts mixed with gymnastics, mixed with breakdance, but we're not just one of those. Like you can mix a kick, right? A hook kick into a coin drop. A hook kick's martial arts, and then a coin drop is breakdance into like a gainer, which would be like backflip. You think like gymnastics, like parkour, but
Yeah.
like I would do a coin drop and then like keep my leg off the ground and swing it into a gainer upside down, and then I do like 2 twists and then land on that same one leg. And like things are, it's crazy. Like it's pretty much parkour, but you don't use objects. That's the way I look at it. And
Right.
but the flips are like unique to the sport. You know, like the kicks. The we don't parkour. You don't see too many kicks. You don't. You know, you might see like a Kong. They'll do like a cool little sweep or something. But like
Now, did
this is like
tricking
hook. Yeah.
exist before parkour, or did parkour have anything to do with tricking?
I really think and I really believe that tricking's been around for a very long time, much longer than many people have thought, but it was just very underground. Like only if like, you know, a few hundred people were doing it around the world, you know. But then, you know, as time goes on, more people are like, wow, like maybe I can do this. You know, he's not special. You know, he's not like sent from God to do all these flips. Like, you know, maybe I should try it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
guys
he
look fucking superhuman, man. I
people
mean,
don't see behind the curtains though. What is practiced in private, what is practiced in private is praised in public, you know? So like you're gonna bust your like literally over the weekend I did like cheat nine, a hook, B twist, like swing, TDR, and I went for gainer, and then I went for a gainer switch, so land on the same leg, and I went up, and dude, I literally like went up and forgot where I was because I was just like I lost. I don't even know what happened, dude. Like my body just gave up because I have so many injuries, dude. I have a fractured foot right now.
what?
I
Oh,
yeah, I have a fractured ankle from slipping. I did a Webster at the club. I slipped on whatever. And then I fell down the stairs like and messed it up even worse. And yeah, so I fractured that, and I didn't realize it was fractured till I got it checked out like 3 months later. I don't get things checked out because I'm like I'm just gonna use a resistance band. That's a lesson I learned. You gotta go get things checked out
yeah,
like
so
right away.
yeah, yeah.
You never know. Like someone at the gym yesterday, like their shin was like bad, and like someone else was like, "Oh, that happened to me too. Oh, mine looked like that too. Mine, I got checked out and it was broken. And I didn't know, and I was walking on it for like 4, and then you know, so it's so easy to let that happen. I have a bruised hip. I was going like 45 on a penny board down like a super steep hill, and I caught like a penny board, like literally
Yeah,
this
what
one,
is that?
literally this right here. Look how
Oh,
small this thing
oh, oh,
is.
it's like a little skateboard. All right.
This thing is so small. Like, and I was on this. It started going like this when I was going 45. Caught a little crack, spun out. I went flying off, like literally flying. And I dove roll. I immediately was like, oh, I'm in the air. I'm gonna do a dive roll on the pavement. So I went boom, head first, tucked my chin so it didn't hit my head, scraped up
Nice.
my whole back, dude, like blood and
Oh
all that.
man.
And then I boom, right on the pavement, my hip bone. Like it was in a good dive roll.
Oh man.
It was just like in the air, like so I dive
It's a
rolled and
last
then
minute crazy decision.
yeah, and then out of the roll I stood up and went boom, and then kind of like slid like because I was going so fast, dude.
Jesus.
So hip, ankle, and then over the weekend I did this gainer switch, landed right on my
Right,
head.
right. For people who don't know, I know it just sounds like some weird nerd shit. It's like gainer switch, this and that, but like a lot of them like involve like it's hard to explain the gainer, but it's like a 1 foot. I don't know if it's like it's really hard to explain. It's almost like a jaywalk thing, and you guys are like trying to project yourself to flip
That's one
over.
way to do it. Yeah, so parkour gainers are you go forward off of 2 feet. Tricking gainers, you go off of 1 foot. And
Mm.
and in parkour, you're traveling forward, and tricking, you're going backwards, but
Oh.
still off 1 foot. Yeah. If you want to do multiple, so if you want to do a gainer switch, which I did, which is like, say I'm back here, right, and I swing this leg up, I'm gonna swing that leg up, and when I'm upside down, I'm gonna switch my legs and land on this farther leg, so that this leg is already here to do another one, and you just keep swinging. That's how you see,
That's amazing.
uh, yeah, and then you could do corks, which is a 360 in the air,
Right.
uh, and you know chain those like uh, someone from Finland did 30
30.
hooked. Yeah, 30. Yeah, yeah, of the corks.
Just like
Yeah, so swing up 360, land on the same leg, swing up, 360, land on the same leg, and just keep it going. And
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he's done it on pavement too.
Oh my
So
God. Talk about like the joints, man. You must have a lot of like people go through. I see Will Coney, right? He has like leg stuff for support. Like I can see a
yeah.
lot of joint pressure and maybe even like damage from doing it a long time. Is there anything you guys do as like injury prevention for things like that?
Absolutely. So we have TrickStrong RX, which is founded by Neil Toussaint out of New York. He's a doctor of physical therapy, and he works with someone else as well. And a good amount of the tricking community follows TrickStrong, and like they really do a great job to help athletes like recover and prevent, especially injury prevention. Like we don't want to, have things just for recovery, because like that's expect like you're gonna get hurt if you do it maybe for like 10 years, but if you're training right, you're not gonna get hurt to the point where you need to go to the hospital, or you get like you're gonna like wear down yourself if you're not training correctly. That's why one thing I've learned from my injuries, you want to train things on like tramp first. You want to train things on like
You meant
use the
trampoline,
equipment.
right?
Use it, yeah,
Not
trampoline like
tramps. Like people, I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, trampoline.
don't train tramps. Train on the trampoline. Got it. Yeah, that's funny. But use the equipment in the gym. Go to an actual gym. Grass. You can do basic stuff. Honestly, like just watch tutorials on YouTube. Kojo's Trick Lab too has a great like collection of stuff. I was founded by Sam Kojo. Good amount of the tricking community is on that as well. And
It's
I'm
crazy. It's crazy, right? There's a lot of places to go learn that now. I mean, I was watching. Was it the big one? Right? That was that cool
Yes,
documentary.
Big by
Loved it.
Sean. Yeah, yeah,
Excellent document. I actually watched it once. Didn't pay for it, like, cause you rent it, and then I loved
yeah.
it so much, I just paid for it the next time.
Oh man, yes,
But
I love
the
that.
Mufu guy, the anabolic flipper guy,
Juju, yeah,
yeah, that
Juji. I'm
guy,
sorry, Juji.
That guy, he
Yeah,
started right a whole online early 2000s or
he
90s.
did. He started the website. Yep. It wasn't 540 Kick. He started. Um, I forgot the name of the website, but Trictionary, or no, it wasn't that either. It was something, but it blew up, and it was I think it was the very first website, if not one of the earlier ones.
Right.
And yeah, and to this day, this guy's amazing. Like he came to Battle of Fury 2017, and like he was just so sick. Like he was picking people up, throwing them like for like 100
Yeah,
bucks,
yeah, and they're
like
flipping.
whoever does
Yeah,
the coolest stuff. It was
yeah.
fun. It was a lot of fun. And I hope to meet him again. Um, he's a cool guy. But yeah, he started. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a good website. I still use it actually.
Oh,
He
it's
has
still up?
in
Like seriously?
It's still up. Yep, and he
Wow.
still adds to it.
But that was my
It's
main
cool.
point. Is basically like that was early, and there's so many different ways to learn this now. You have
100%.
YouTube, and then you have when I went to. So people don't know. I went to Battle Fury. I met Chris
Yep.
Christian. I don't know what you'd rather be called.
Yep.
Um, and
This is fine.
and it was crazy to see that even after I was done with the event, they have a whole workshop, and I didn't know this, to go and learn how to do this. And you're not just learning with anybody; you're learning with experienced like professionals in the sport and upcoming
Yes.
guys. So you can explain that a
Right.
little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you go to gatherings, you're gonna get better, like 100%. Like people look at that like, oh, it's $160 for 3 days. Okay, I'll just go to one day. Oh, it's $90 for one day. Like I just went to a Slipknot concert, and that was $60. And like Kill Switch Engage was there, like
Nice,
Fever,
nice.
all these like, and that was Slipknot. This is like they're huge. I would expect to pay like maybe like I don't know $60 or whatever. So that's how much it is for like tricking day, and people pay it, but like they don't they get it like if you're really in the tricking community, like you're a tricker, you're excited for that. But if you're someone who's new and kind of just testing it out, you're like, I don't know, these guys are going to be good, and I might be intimidated. I'm probably not going to trick because I'm not that good. So I just do the spectator fee. No, like you should sign up for that whole weekend, because you're going to get better. You're going to meet people who are better than you, which you need to do, because that's the only way you're going to get better. Spend time around the people who you like, who not that you just like their tricks, but who you like as a person, and like you're gonna make friends. You're gonna build relationships for sure. but you're just gonna get so much better, dude. Like whoever's listening right now, like go to every gathering you can. I'm driving 6 hours in 2 days to go to Maryland from Hartford, Connecticut. Um,
Where are you going?
Maryland for
No, where are you
Euphoria
going for? Like,
Euphoria gathering.
oh, it's
So
another tricking event.
it's
Euphoria.
another tricking gathering. Yep. So right now,
What's
last
that one
weekend,
different? Like, what are they? I don't know. Go ahead.
I know it's Halloween weekend, so I'm dressing as a pirate. Ethan Turner told me to dress as a pirate.
That's cool.
Already said I could. And then all these other people. We're gonna be trying to have as many pirates here as possible. I heard so. But yeah, there's gonna be like shapes battles, which Adam founded shapes, and then there's gonna be it's just gonna be fun. We're gonna learn stuff, workshops. Biggest thing in gatherings are the workshops too. One of the things I really enjoy. But when you go to gatherings, you don't just I don't, at least just me, I don't just go there for the tricks. Like, I go there for just like, we'll go for walks or stuff to do, like, we'll just like have fun. And it's not just tricking. That's what I found this last Battle of Fury. Like, we went to Justin's house, which he just moved out of. And then we went to Wickham Park. And we did tricks over there on the grass, but also like took like photos and like just hung out, went out to eat and stuff.
Can you
So
explain like how almost like I wouldn't say it, I don't know, tribalism is the right word, but you guys get so pumped up. It's like and you guys are cheering each other on. Like
yeah,
can you describe that energy to people? Because you go to a lot of I mean it's different than going to like a sports game even. It's just and it's very positive, when you're in a
uh-huh,
competition sense, it's not there's not I've done martial arts, I've even done stand-up comedy and music. They're all very competitive, Sometimes you'll be on
right,
stage, the other guys don't care how good you are because they want to be getting all the spotlight. They want to be the best.
100%.
There
Yeah,
was none of that in the tricking
that's
community.
what makes us different. That's what makes tricking different. And that's one of the reasons why I find a lot of people love the sport too. It's not like that. You throw your first cork, right? You throw your first swing off one leg, 360, and then say you even swing it, like swing up just your leg through, like you could do another one, but you just did that for the first time. And then everyone just like, fuck, like whatever, like this guy, like, like that would make me feel good. But like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not coming here again. Like, like, because this isn't like that. This is more or less like I'm training so I can just feel good about myself. This is a very like for yourself sport rather than like for the attention sport. And I feel like if it was for that, then there would be a lot of like competitiveness. Like,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't say like for the attention. That's probably not the right word. I'd say for the like, uh, just for like other people's amusement. Um,
Entertainment, right?
yeah, entertainment. Yeah. This I look at as meditation, and
Mm,
and in a way where I have to be fully present when I'm doing my tricks, or else I'm gonna land on my head again.
right.
Or I'm gonna have to like, uh, I just have to take care of my body, right? That's why like I have all this equipment in here. I have resistance bands here. I have like a pull-up bar here. I've got like kettlebells. You want to be smart. You want to train your body to adapt to this. So like a lot of things I do is I jump up, tuck, right? I'll just do this throughout the day, right?
Really?
If I'm sitting for too long, I'll just get up and I'll do like 10 squats. I'll go all the way
So
down.
okay. What does the
Yep.
jumping one do? What does that help you do? Like
Uh, I'm landing on the balls of my feet. So that teaches you when you're in the air and you're coming down, you don't land flat footed or on your heels. You land on your ball so that you can be springy and go into something else.
and
You
that
know,
also helps your joints, I guess, instead of
helps your
like
joints, help your
boom.
balance.
Right.
Taking fish oil pills, forces you kind of to eat healthier too, because that's gonna number one, that's gonna prevent injury. That's gonna give you more energy so you could trick longer. It's gonna recover your body faster. It's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you be more present while you trick. If you're eating all these like nutritious foods, like a lot of people like eat like shit, and they trick so sick. But like a lot of those kids are
McDonald
younger.
trickers, like that exists.
Literally, yeah. I was talking to this dude, and he was just like, yeah, I just had McDonald's, and I'm gonna have McDonald's after this, and I'm gonna go home and eat Cheetos, and I love Mountain Dew,
Wow.
just drinking Mountain Dew all day. Fuck water. I don't need any of that, like shit like that. And I'm like, whatever floats your boat. Your tricks are sick though.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I wouldn't advise that because I don't see that being that lasting much longer till something bad happens. So I would say if you eat healthy and train smart, you're going to be able to train for a very long time. Like I'm hoping to still be able to gainer and like cork when I'm like 79, 80.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Even if I'm walking with a cane, I'll use that for extra momentum. Like,
Coolest old man ever if I saw that. Number one, I went there, like,
training smart.
you don't feel cool anyway because you're like, yeah, I can do a tornado kick. I can do a spin kick. And you see these guys one-legged doing these, like, it makes even Eddie Gordo from Tekken look like he needs new shit to learn. Like, it was
Right.
amazing. I almost think they should add Tekken and add, like, a tricking guy and it has more, because it's so unique, it is different. But
Yes.
everybody had something else to show, and it was interesting talking to Shinobi Sean. Shout out Shinobi Sean.
Shout out Sean, coolest mother. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, he was
Awesome.
saying everybody comes from a different path, right? Some guys had no teacher; they're doing it on the street in the middle of like their backyard, whatever. And maybe they just were a breakdancer. They're gonna have more of a
Right.
breakdancer feel. And then the guy who's been a martial artist, he's gonna throw more kicks. So I like the fact that it's not one faceted; it's multi-stylistic.
Absolutely, and it's unique to you. Nobody can trick like one person. That's why we cheer each other on. When you're when I'm fighting, right? I'm told how to punch. I'm told how to block effectively in proven ways to protect myself. They're trying to help me. The coaches are helping me. When you're tricking, they're going to show you how to do it, but you can add your own flavor. You can do a tornado kick like this. You can do a tornado kick with it sweeping down. You can do a tornado kick with a crescent kick. You can do a tornado kick with like a kick here and then switch it, land on the same leg. That's 5-4. But you do it your own way. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
that's how it's unique, and that's why people cheer you on. Kind of going back and answering that a little better. You're unique, how your tricks are. Nobody can do that. Like
That's
how
funny,
you do
man.
it. So
It's cool. After I got done seeing it, like I was recovering, I was like at some Airbnb, it was like a mountain view. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this. I'd like, when you're injured physically and whatever, it takes a little time for you to get better, even at how you were at martial arts. But dude, I looked so shitty compared to like what you guys do. Like I was just like, oh man, like. But everybody starts from somewhere, and like when you guys even had the thing, like. Everybody was in a circle and like anybody almost could have done anything. But I was like, what the hell am I going to do? I don't know anything. And that little girl, I don't know if you remember that shit. That little girl ripped
I
it.
do
Like, she
remember.
was 7 or 12.
Yeah.
What the hell was she? She
Mhm.
was amazing. She's killing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of younger trickers. Like, I taught a 3-year-old how to do a roundhouse kick yesterday, and then hook kick too. Like,
I love my-
and then like as these kids, some of them just like are naturally like that. One of the students I have, when he was a baby, he was like swinging on the chandelier. Like he somehow like crawled up, like built this like thing for him to climb. Like, and he was like a baby, and he literally was like hanging on the chandelier. And like ever since like he was a kid, the mom was telling me all this yesterday. He would do handstands. Like some people are just naturally gifted. Like freaks in nature, like some people would say. But like Jose and like some other people too. Like that kid's, I don't know, 16, maybe 15, and he's only been tricking for like 4 years, but like he's doing world's first like almost every week.
So
like,
let's talk about that for a sec, right? Because, arguably it's like, what is that guy, even though he's young, is one of the best, right? Is it
Right.
looked at differently? It seems like they prop the athletes and pay them more. Like it's looked at as a real sport over in Asia, correct?
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say it's looked at as a sport from the point of every tricker right now, but I'd say from from the point of like commercial businesses and stuff, I would say that the majority of them are kind of like in Asia. Yeah, I'd say so. It's more. I don't know. I haven't been to Asia, but I see a lot of Asian like trickers and events going on, and I can see, yeah, like cash prizes. So I'd say probably, yeah, in Asia, but over here, I'd say like it's definitely growing, and it could get to that point where it's as big as over in Asia right now, in the U.S. if we're talking that.
Right. I mean, I
Right.
don't know if you ever see like Red Bull Rampage and like some of the
Yeah.
extreme. I love like I'm a mountain biker also. I like that stuff.
All right on.
I consider what you guys do almost as like an extreme sport like that. And I can see, in my opinion, I think one day, if it's not Red Bull, maybe it'll be somebody else, to have this as a real event, people will be entertained to watch. I mean, I personally was like, I even think non-martial arts, like people would come here and watch it in spades.
Mm. Mm.
Because like there's people that
Yeah.
watch skateboarding, they don't skate. You
Right.
know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I find that, I went to a festival with my karate school. We were doing like some performance and stuff, and it was just like, honestly, it was just like four of us, and then we were gonna teach a class. But like I'm the only one who could trick who was with them because it was karate. It wasn't tricking. So I just was throwing down. I was just throwing, and it created this huge crowd. And like clearly, like, these were like middle-aged moms and stuff, and like parents, families. Like nobody was trying to trick with me. They were just recording and like, cheering me on and stuff. Like, and I was
See?
doing that for about like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. So I can see that happening because people really like watching that stuff.
What
Because
about
like
when
I
you
didn't
went to
want
Six
to, I was
Flags? Were they
warming up.
cheering you on there? I mean, I saw
Yeah,
a really
it
cool
was
thing with
fun
you
too.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I really bring tricking everywhere. I'll go on a hike, and if I find a cool spot, maybe with some water or something, like I'll do like a couple flips and try not to hurt myself. I don't know if you saw the clip. I did a B twist and like swung it and went right into a tree.
Oh my
And
God,
like,
no, I didn't see that
yeah, it,
one.
like hurt so bad.
Ouch.
But I hiked. I somehow managed to hike like, I think it was like 12 miles after that. So I was fine,
Wow,
but
wow.
it hurt pretty bad though. And I
Yeah,
just hit
no.
my head again, so I'm probably pretty fucked up. And I'm gonna be fighting, so.
Yo, let me ask you this. So
Well,
like not many people do tricking and they do mixed martial arts. Are you doing mixed martial arts, doing kickboxing? What's your combat sport?
my combat sport is kickboxing. I love
Right on.
grappling, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So,
Hmm.
but training, like I incorporate my training sessions, like I have a balance of tricking training and like I'll do my squats, right? And then I'll lift this leg up and swing it down and go into another, or not a squat, a lunge, sorry.
Okay.
I'll go up and I'll swing it. And that's going to help my swings and tricking. If I was just training for MMA, then yeah, I'd be doing these reps, nice and quick, explosive, because that's how I am as a fighter. I
Hmm.
like to be, very focused and then explode, because that's how I learned to train
And
doing
also like the
Kempo.
way you guys do those movements, like you have to explode when you're doing those flips
And
and
you have to
tricks.
be patient too. So you relax, explode. So and that's exactly like that's why I do MMA as well, because I'm relaxed in the ring, but then I, just lift my leg up. I don't
Mm.
move anything else.
Well,
So.
look at you, Bruce Lee. Like it does not. It moves all by itself.
Be water, my friend.
Yes, yes.
Hydrate.
So,
Oh yeah.
Chris, let me ask you, man. Like, so what's your background originally in martial arts? Like, you obviously must be a karate guy at first. My
Kempo karate. So
that's so funny. That's what I've done. I'm not a black belt, probably like you, but I was, I did it up to the ranks pretty good, and then I I basically went into kickboxing at a young age. But yeah, go ahead.
nice.
I want to
Yep,
hear
my
you.
school offered kickboxing, cardio kickboxing, which I did too, just for my cardio and stuff. It offered MMA, like a general Brazilian jiu-jitsu type, class. We had a really good instructor, and I just stuck to this dude's hip, and like I fell in love with it. And I wasn't good at first, like I was tapping out like all the time, but like I don't know, I just got good, and then I stopped, and I found myself like literally dreaming about like fighting, and like literally like grappling and like just destroying, like just winning and winning and winning. And this isn't just like one or two or three or like 10 times. This is like multiple times over the course of like 5 years. And
Wow.
I'm like, dude, I got to do something. Like I literally, like I love it. And then I grappled this dude who's been wrestling since he was 5 and has not stopped. And he couldn't get me to tap. Like we were just going
Wow,
at it.
wow.
We were going at it. And dude, I haven't trained in like 10 years, that at least.
For
And
grappling?
for grappling, yeah, I didn't
Wow,
grapple
wow.
anyone, dude. It was just kind of like vision stuff.
So what rank are
And
you?
uh, well, I'm a second degree black belt. I'm about to be second degree black belt in Kempo karate. But I don't have a belt rank in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yet. So,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I'm looking to find a gym, going to different tryouts, and I'm winning them too. Like actually, but I
awesome.
haven't picked a gym yet, so I'm
That's the
just
thing.
trying to find a
Like you
place.
just said, you stuck that guy's hip. You gotta find somebody in a gym that just works for you, you know?
Right,
And the relationship between like a coach and like somebody, it can be
right.
very involved. So like it's infatuating. So you really have to make sure that you and that person click and everything you're learning, because it's a trust thing. You're trusting on their
100%.
knowledge, their
And I
experience.
find and I find some coaches, a couple of them where they're like, stop tricking because you're gonna hurt yourself before the fight
Oh
and
wow.
stuff like that. And no, I love tricking. I'm a tricker. I'm also a mixed martial artist, but like I I'm gonna train smart. I've been hurting myself this year. Just I don't know why. Honestly, it hasn't been at the gym. Well, the last one was at the gym, but I really believe that's because of my other 2 injuries. My ankle wasn't messed up. I would have been able to. I really, because I'm swinging off of this leg plant and this is my fractured foot.
Hmm.
I shouldn't have even been tricking. So, and then the penny board accident, I wasn't even tricking then. So, but if you trick while you're injured, you're probably going to get more injured. So
Sure,
that's
sure.
that's the takeaway. Another takeaway too.
So how
So
much do you like? Do you do ice baths, like stuff
I
like that?
sauna, I sauna until I'm about to gas out. No, that's a lie. I sauna until I'm like I have a really like bad headache about to come. I'm not gassed out yet. I'm not I don't have this horrible headache where I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like some people do that, but I sauna until I'm about to get a headache, and that's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I've gone like 45 minutes before that happens too. It all depends on how well you've eaten, how your tolerance and stuff to it. So it builds up over time.
So what does
Whatever.
the sauna do opposed to the ice bath? Like you
I do
know.
that after. I do a cold. I get out and then I go straight into the cold.
Whoa, wait! You go from the hot ass sauna and then you go into
Yeah.
the, oh whoa.
Yeah, yeah. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll dry off. I'll have some temperature for about 5 minutes, or no, even like 3 minutes, whatever. Hop right back in the sauna, and I'll do that for about 4 rounds.
Wow,
And
wow.
I feel amazing after I get out, and I'm like in my car, like, wow, I was good because I go to LA Fitness. So I go to the gym near me, and I do that, and I feel so good. And but I find that sometimes too I'll be really tired, and if I didn't sleep well the night before, then like it'll just drain me. I'll want to go home and take a
Oh
nap
yeah,
for
that's been
sure.
my problem too. Sleep is so water and sleep, most important things, almost supplements. Period. Like
A lot of people, another one thing is breathing. Yes, we breathe
Sure.
unconsciously, but how many people actually like breathe from their stomach, like that will make you feel lightheaded because your body's not used to that, but really like
Right.
it energizes you. The
So I guess
breath
something
is
I
everything.
never even told my audience this. So I'm a qigong practitioner too. So basically that's like
Ooh, I would
Chinese
love to take some
internal.
I would love to take some classes from you or something,
Oh
or do
well,
a
yeah.
session.
I only know like one form that I learned, and it was actually before I went to China. But basically, it's like a statuesque version of like Tai Chi, but you're mimicking movements of trees and flowers. So you're in one place, and it's all maybe 5 breaths, and it's basically exercise for your lungs. I couldn't really run
Wow.
that well, man. I wasn't like a runner. I didn't like to do stuff
Yeah.
like that. Made me be able to run no problem. Before exercise, I'll do it. The trick is you do it in the morning. This sounds really kind of nerdy, right? But it's like true. I had many guys, even yoga. They'll be like, some of you guys, do you want to do yoga in the morning? I stayed at some Airbnb and like me and my brother were doing yoga and we did it
Oh,
like in
wow.
the afternoon. He's like,
Yeah.
it's cool you're doing yoga, but do it in the morning. And all these arts, yoga, tai chi, qigong, there's a scientific method to the reason why they do that. And what it is through photosynthesis, there's more ions in the atmosphere to the sun. So when you're actually breathing in this oxygen, you're getting like the best pure oxygen mixed in with the light with
Wow.
photosynthesis. So you're getting all this cleansation in your body because that's really what I'm doing
Oh
when I
my
do these
God.
things. I'm getting the worst air. Think of all the air you breathe in. You went
I
through a
know,
truck.
especially like if you live in like New York City or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
There's New York. It's like there's people's piss, whatever. But like from trash to like bad
Even, yeah,
air,
right.
trucks. And so what you're doing at the end of this is it's a statuesque movement, and then at the end you just release like all the air in your body, and then you have to suck up the air around you. So you make sure when you do this, you have a very pure environment. You wouldn't want to be in a really bad part of the city doing it. You want to be in a park where there's lots of trees. But doing it in the morning, all those arts, it increases everything, man. Your healing, your mind, even your strength. Like so, for me, talking about breath, um, it's an autonomic thing. Like people are just like, I'm breathing right now. Like, what do you mean? But when you consciously breathe, you're getting an effect that only humans can get. Like animals can't go, like a dog can't go, all right, Farfel, yoga breathing. They can't do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? This is something from our higher brain. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of people take for granted that when you can consciously, if you think about turning something autonomic into something that you're controlling at your own will,
Sure.
I'm really into Wim Hof. I don't know if you ever checked that
I
guy
am.
out.
I have his books. I read.
Ah,
Yeah, I listen to
sick.
him.
See, me and you, I knew we'd get along.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
Me too.
man, all that stuff to do superhuman things, you need the extra oxygen to push to your brain. And so one of the ways
Uh,
I do that is I try and do the qigong, and there's so many different ways. Like pick your medicine. Pick was it
yeah.
yoga? Is it whatever? So
Right.
anyway,
Wow. How has you? Well, yoga. I honestly like. I found that really changed my life, man. And breathing into it as well, like consciously breathing, like you're like everything you just said, like pretty much, you know what I'm saying. But like just just really focusing on it and ooh, just feeling the relaxation. And I find that helps my tricking too, honestly.
oh yeah.
Like, yeah, because I'm able to do more kicks. I'm able to or higher kicks,
Yeah,
you
like
know.
just for the audience, like even when you're just sitting, like regular stretch, like when you breathe into the stretch, like it's different when you're just there and like 5, 10, 15, whatever. But if you're like, sometimes I don't even count anymore. I count through breaths. But like
Mm,
seriously, when you breathe in and you breathe out, you're stretching your body in different ways through your breath that you normally wouldn't get with shallow breathing or just consciously counting numbers. And I'm just want to like elaborate so people get that. That's what he's talking about.
mm.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another thing I'll do is I'll like consciously hold my breath too for about 5 seconds, and that will force me to like take in more air, and then if just do the Wim Hof method, literally like that thing is
Right.
like that thing will change your life if you do it for about 21 days, I'd say.
Yeah, now they make you pay for the bubble breathing thing because it's been so effective to people.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. I have the app. I'm gonna pay for it, but like I've done it so long that I almost don't even need the app itself. I just do it without it. But yeah, man, like there's a true thing to breath that we forgot. We're with this modern society with our cell phones and instant access to information. These old ways, that's why I love a lot of the things you search for. They're actually within you, and your breath is within you to open up
Right.
everything about your mind. So yeah,
Right.
man, I'm totally into that. Man, call me a quasi hippie. I don't know.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, man. So drinking water, sleep, and conscious breathing, I think mix those three, you can do just about anything you want to do, man. Like whether it's tricking, fighting, whatever. Those are my two passions, and I also have other stuff I do. I play the drums, I do photography, I do video,
Oh, cool,
whatever.
bro.
Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff. I love skating. I got that penny board. I got this longboard right
There you
here.
go. There you go.
Like I love guitar. So you find things to do other than just tricking, and that's why I love gatherings, not just for the tricking, but for like, I brought my ukulele and I was just jamming out with those guys, you know, like they were rapping over it and stuff. Like
That's
it was
sweet,
fun.
sweet.
Yeah, feeling like Einar Banks, but Yeah.
But yeah, let's
It
like for me anyway. I want to kind of just like bring it back to almost like what you're saying with all the different things you want to do. Life is, you got to find what excites you, and I'm
Yeah.
so like good at different things, or I enjoy different things, or I like to experiment. That you got
Right.
to find out like maybe in the moment that doesn't excite you. Like you said, I'm doing the guitar or this and that. Find
Right.
out what excites you, and I think in this coronavirus thing, I think in this place where people are home all the time, if you haven't gotten healthier or you haven't found something you're good at, you should have at least found stuff that excites you, and
That's yeah.
that's life right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think once you find that, you shouldn't just stop, and just be like, "Oh, I'll do this when I have time." I would do this like I would make it an effort to do it and get better at it. Like I remember like saying no to go to parties just because I wanted to get better at, I wanted to stay at the session and trick when I was the only one there. Like I said no to hanging out with someone because I wanted I'm paying for like drum lessons. So and I could take them whenever, because it's already pre-recorded. But I was just like, no, like I'm going to stay in and get better at my craft. Who knows? And I think it's cool to have one craft. You're going to get really good at that. You want to have that one thing that you're very good at. But I'd say like it's cool to have, a couple other things just to rely on. Like I love tricking, but I'm hurt right now. So, I could keep training other stuff and get sick at tricking, but like I just have other interests too, like drums, like I was just saying, so uh I'm gonna I'm gonna get better at that instead of just like drinking and like, people wanna just go and just waste time, not do stuff. So
Right.
I don't know, I'm just at the point in my life where my mindset is very important to me. Like I can choose what I want to do, I can say like no, if I want to, because, I want to say yes to something else, which is getting better at drums. So what you say no to, you're saying yes to something else. So
Right.
tricking, if you want to get better at that, don't tell yourself like, oh, I'll do that when, my shoulder feels better because it kind of hurts. Like, no, just say like, no, I'm just gonna go there and see what happens. I'm gonna tell them my shoulder hurts and talk to the coaches, and that's why I love being a coach because like people give me excuses like I have a hangnail, I can't do push-ups, like the kids or whatever when
Yeah.
I'm training them. Like, are you serious? Like, you just show them and stuff like, oh, just lift up that finger. They're like, oh, okay, like there's always ways around things. So that's just what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, yeah. I
There's
mean, whether you
always
gotta play video
ways.
games, I'm sure you have other fun, too, and like,
Yeah, yeah, play video games, but sit in a stretch so you get a good stretch in your hips and you're stretching and playing video
mhm.
games. If you want to get better at like freestyling, put on some music and play and like freestyle,
Yeah, yeah, for real, for real.
or listen to like a book while you're playing. So multitasking, but like for the non-important things. So like, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, no, it totally makes sense. What about
I
like
mean,
you?
unless
You
you're
seem like
streaming
you
or stuff.
stretch a lot, dude. So like, what is the? Is there different stretching for like tricking that you do for martial arts, or?
No, I do about the same. I bring my resistance bands when I stretch, so I'll like uh, do a lot of like full movement. So I'll like have my leg through the resistance band or my foot through it, and then I'll hold it right here at my chest, and I'll swing my leg with my foot here. So I'll
Whoa!
just swing it, so I get the full range of motion
Wow!
in my hip.
Ah!
Yeah, I learned another stretch last night actually, where you sit down like and you spread your legs as far as you can into a V, and then you push yourself up, and then you get into the split, and then you like lay down in your chest,
Ooh,
and then you like push yourself back, and
wow!
then you like move your legs around so you get the whole range. Yeah, there's like a lot of different ways to stretch, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're actually stretching. It sucks, but like you're gonna it's gonna benefit you if you're stretching more than the next person, the next guy. So
Do you
just
stretch
do as much as you can.
like how many sessions do you stretch? Is it like 20 minutes each session? Do you do 3 times a day? What's your like? How do you organize it?
I well, I honestly stretch whenever I can. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll kind of get my body moving. I'll play with this little ball here, jump up and stuff. I'll throughout the day, dude. I'll be sitting in traffic. I'm not even joking. I'll get out of my car and I'll like just like stretch real quick. I'll like and then get back in my car.
You're like, what the
And
fuck
then I
is
look
this
at my
guy doing?
rearview mirror and then they're just like laughing like this dude, you know. So I've done that. I did that this year. That was funny. But either way, like I do that all the time. Like I stretch everywhere I go. I'll like try to like lift my foot up. I'll put my foot right here and I'll rock it
rubber
like a little
guard stretch.
baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And plus I'm teaching just about every day except like, well, I'm teaching like 5 days a week. So every time I teach, I stretch and I stretch with them. So, but outside of that, like I'm stretching before the session, in the middle of the session, after the session, when I get home. Like stretching is just like a part of life.
Yeah, especially if you're a martial artist, you gotta stretch.
Yeah.
You gotta have
It's
some
like
type
peeing.
of stretch.
You just gotta go. Just gotta stretch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what about when you do other stuff when you train? Like, because if you're doing martial arts training or you're training for a fight, how do you organize the tricking training?
So I'll typically do that after my mixed martial arts training. So my body will be already warm. I'll be a little tired, in my limbs, but like I'll be okay enough to like do a cartwheel, maybe a full, maybe cart full, hyper, whatever, dub. So I'll train light, but like I won't do anything crazy, like I don't know, nothing too
I
wild.
never. I would think you would do it before. That's crazy. Well, I guess you'd be exhausted to fight then.
Well, I wouldn't want to hurt myself as like I wouldn't want to risk not being able to train because honestly, like I was saying, I'm looking to fight professionally. So right now that's like very important to me. So I don't want to risk spraining my ankle or something just so I can't train as hard. So what I'll do is I'll train my tricking when I'm tired. That way, first of all, I can't train that hard and I'll be able to learn more rather than like have it be more of a risk. So I can like I'll learn a new move and I'll be able to kind of like take it slow. I'll train on like mats rather than just like the floor. And it helps my cardio, because it helps my endurance. So I'd say training after already working out. I find even just going to the gym too, my sessions are a little bit better after. Obviously not right away, going straight from the gym to the tricking gym. But I'm talking like the weight gym.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I'd say it's helped me for sure.
So how often do you mix weights with your training if you're doing all that stuff?
Honestly, I'll sauna about 5 days a week, and then I will weight train about 3 times a week. So those 2 times I'm doing push-pull one day, doing biceps, triceps, and then legs. So, yep. And then tricking, I try to do something every day.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Like as far as like, do you pick on weaknesses that you need to go to, or is it just like having fun?
Yeah, so something that I need to work on for sure. So I'm trying to get my swings better and getting into my eagles. So I've been doing a lot of B twists, landing into eagle. Ever since my neck injury, I haven't been able to do that. So it's been about a week. My head's still numb to the touch.
Oh no.
I landed really hard. I'm pretty sure my skull's bruised, but
Yeah.
yeah. So but before then, yeah, and plus my fractured ankle and stuff. So I've been taking it light. I haven't even been able to like train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I've just been teaching karate, just kind of doing the movements, very like half-ass, you would say, I guess someone would say. But tricking, I've been like, I went really hard at Fury. So my body's pretty sore. My ankle is kind of regretting or like kind of mad at me for doing that.
Wow. Still feel
But I
it.
don't regret any of it because like I met a lot of cool people. I got to meet Ethan Turner, one of my favorite trickers.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's right now editing a sampler. I can't wait to see it. So sick. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I try to trick every day. Just about. I'll go hard though. like 5 times a week or like 4 times a week.
Okay.
Probably 5. Take like 2 days light work,
When you're doing like mixed martial arts stuff, where you're just sparring kickboxing, like, do
Yeah,
you ever
dude,
feel
I
like you
love
just
it.
want to do like a tricking move, like just for the hell of it, or like
No,
or do crazy
no,
stuff?
no, because I really, it's gonna sound funny, but I forget about like that stuff when I'm in the ring, when
Mm.
I'm sparring. I literally have separated this. I've compartmentalized tricking from MMA. My training is what's similar, but that's in a whole nother thing. But when I'm actually fighting, and I look at it as like 4 boxes, right?
Yeah.
Like fighting, like sparring, like hands, and then I look at kicks. So like hands, like striking, kicks, like that's kind of with striking. So it's like in the same line. And then under that would be grappling, and then I'll have tricking on its own box.
Okay, that's
So
good.
each one of those things, like wrestling with the grappling too. So it's like just strikes, like my handwork, my like body, and then footwork is kind of in that middle too.
Sure.
Footwork
Yeah.
is like the circle
For sure.
of all of that. So if you could picture that, I don't know. That's how I train. So striking, and then when I'm in each of one of those boxes, I kind of forget, but except for the top 2, like striking and kicking, like kickboxing, I'm definitely more of a kickboxer than a boxer. Like
Mm.
just boxing, I feel like I could get eaten up right now, but if I like train, I know I'll be nasty. But kickboxing, I'm nasty like right now. No, I'd say I'm great. I'd say I'm great at kickboxing, but I'm like nasty at grappling. That's how I would
Oh,
put it.
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, grappling, like I love grappling, dude. Like seriously. But like that makes my like I was just so happy just thinking about it. Tricking is like right under that
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
for
good
me.
that you don't like mix it together. I want to ask you like who are some of your favorite guys to watch? Like I'm gonna bring up Raymond Daniels because as old school karate guy he is, he does land a lot of these cool things that almost seem like tricking moves. Like he's was that 540 kick, but he turns it into a punch, knocks the guy out. So, not that we should have tricking and fighting, but like it is weird how some crazy stuff does work.
It does work. Crazy stuff works. Fighting for talking, Khabib, I'm really looking up to. I think he's a good dude.
Yeah, who else are your favorites?
Um, let's see who else. I don't know. I like Mayweather for his record. He's able to fucking do 50-0, 51. I think I don't even know what happened with the last one, but
Yeah.
with Logan. But honestly, like I don't know. I just respect him. I respect all the fighters to be
I
honest,
mean,
but
Mayweather's got
well, not
incredible
all of them. But
defensive boxing. He's at the best defensive boxing period in this thing.
yeah,
Even if you're not a fan
he's
of his
nasty.
fighting, like it's masterful what he's doing in there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I'm starting to see Jake Paul be pretty good at at boxing at least. I don't know. Like
We'll see
I
what he
haven't seen
does
him
with
lose.
the
He hasn't
next
lost fight.
fight. He's supposed to what fight?
Who's he fighting? I haven't
Tommy
watched any of them,
Fury.
but this
Tommy
is all from what
Fury.
I'm hearing.
Okay, so
Oh
I'll,
yeah,
I'll fill you in, right? So
yeah.
it's like they don't know whether he's gonna. He's not rematching Tyron Woodley. Also, they said that
Oh,
now.
he backed out, right, or something like that.
Yeah, and apparently Tyron Woodley was not allowed to knock out him. There's like a contractually, he's not allowed to knock out Jake Paul. So like,
Oh
how good
wow.
was Jake Paul? Right at the same time, but he is supposed to fight Tyson Fury's stepbrother or half brother, Tommy
Oh
Fury.
wow.
So we're gonna see
Okay.
him actually maybe
Huh.
see how that happen. I don't
Yeah.
not a huge fan of the Paul brothers to be honest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I'm not either. But I've just been hurt. Just hearing. Because the reason why like I was just like going off of what I've been hearing is because honestly, like I don't have a fighter where I'm like I want to be like you.
mm,
I want to be the best I can be. I never grew up watching it. I grew up doing it and
mm,
just like wanting to get better. And like when I watch someone else, like I'm like, cool, like you're on your grind and I'm on my grind. Like I'm not gonna be like you. I'm gonna be like myself and I'm gonna be fucking like the best I can be. And like honestly, I see Conor McGregor, and I spent hours watching fights and stuff, and like trying to find like that fight. People compared me to like Sugar Sean or
oh
like
no, wow,
Yoel Romero because I just
really?
like yeah
Some
yeah dude.
wrestling or is it like just the what is similar you and your well?
So someone just said how like strong I am. Like I don't look that strong, and he looks this dude's huge, but like I don't know. He said just how I kind of like I'm explosive, and I just go. I think that does come from the
Mm,
tricking. I don't consciously think about it, but my body's like all in that. My body's that whole diagram, but my mind is in the compartmentalizing each thing.
there you go. Cool.
Um, but all of that stems from those three things, dude. The water, sleep, and breathing.
Wow.
That's the base right there.
Wow. Hey,
Hydrating.
it's so cool. Like, God bless you, man. I hope to see you like UFC and shit. That would be so wild. I'd love that.
I'm excited,
It's
man.
all about like, man, having a goal and like going for it. Like, so many people aimlessly, like, they'll have dreams, they'll have things they want to do, but
Yeah.
you gotta write your shit down. Like, I have like a note card and like a notebook. Like, I write everything. I used to not write anything down. I write everything down.
I keep my goals in my wallet. Yeah. You
There
gotta
you go.
you gotta read it, like reread it too, like all the time.
Yep.
Like,
Because
um,
you're like manifesting. Like, people think that's like ridiculous, but it's not. Like, the choices and the things you're doing right now in life is because you chose them.
mm,
Whether you chose to stay home with your parents or whether you chose to do something dangerous, you live life
right.
safe. Like, all of this is it's all can be changed when you want it to. So like the manifestation, like when you write stuff down, that's like one. The human mind has a hard time visualizing like the future. We have a
Mm,
hard time come up with the concept of what is going to come from here. But when you write down, you have a goal, it builds it. Your subconscious like works on
yeah.
that shit and it finds a
Yeah.
way. Like, I write down how much money I want, how much,
Yes.
everything, like literally
That's
everything,
very important.
anything I want. So, but another thing I see with you is like a lot of people who are athletes and they're very successful. Like, they already know that they do that.
Right. Absolutely. And I'd say that what's crucial, the next step would be when you receive like an idea which is like going to get you closer to that thing you wrote down, making the decision, like you were just saying, to actually take action on that. Because it's so easy to be like, wow, that's a great idea. I'm going to do it. Like, I'm gonna. And then, like Caleb Maddox said, he's like the youngest freaking billionaire right now. I don't know, a millionaire, I think. I think he's like 13 or 14, and he's like a million. I don't know. He's the youngest kid. He did it by himself, too. But he said, the gonna is gonna kill you. The Gonna, because I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna do that.
Mm,
I'm gonna write my goals down. Like people, listen to this and like, oh, I'm gonna do that. It's good, and they never do. Make the decision to actually do it, because it is hard to like. It's honestly, it's not hard at all. But you think it's hard, so it's hard to get out of that mindset. But it's really not if you just do it. So the easiest way to do that is just do it. Like, you want to get up right now, and like, if you're listening to this, get up and write your goals down right now.
right now,
I'll wait. No, like,
do
straight
it,
up though.
do it.
Do it right now.
Like, subscribe, and then write your shit down on a card.
And then write in the comments what you want.
Yeah, what you want. It sounds ridiculous, but like many people that you watch and that you admire have already done things like that, and it's like the power of the human mind is taken for granted, I feel.
Oh, 100%.
And even
100%.
with spirit, you seem like a spiritual guy, you know?
I'd say so. I'd say yeah, I'd say I'm in tune, or I think I am. I don't know. I'd say I know nothing, but I feel something, and I know there's something,
Right.
because I see
Okay.
it and I feel it, but I just don't know what it is. So I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to say that I've went through different stages in my life where I could say it was this, or I could say it was this or this. Um, I will say I believe in God, and think it's God. At this point in my life, if you asked me last year, I would have said, it's like me, I'm God, and you're God, and we're all our own God, and we can create everything. Year before that, I would have said, oh, it's my crystals, it's your
Yeah, I got
crystal,
crystals.
it's a rock, all that shit.
Well, you
People,
know what?
people,
I believe it's somewhere in between, right? Like, we are all connected as one.
I'd say
I
that
don't know how
too.
many drugs it took for me to think of this, but like, I've taken hallucinogenics a couple times, and basically, like, we're all God trying to experience itself subjectively. Like, if you
Sure.
created everything, you'd be bored if you had to talk to yourself. So, like, to me, I think a human in consciousness is all God trying to like have fun with itself. Like, this conversation
Right.
right now, it's just like pieces of God really talking to each other, but we have these identity we call each other. You know, you're
That's
Chris,
true.
I'm Matt. You
Yeah.
know, and we have this notion of what we think of ourselves, and then like there's what people think of you, and then what you think when you're alone. So what I wanted to
Right.
bring up, which relates as a great segue, is
Yeah.
I think part of being spiritual is dealing with your negative thoughts. I've been going through so much. I mean, earlier this year I had like, you know, really bad problems, home
Right.
problems, mind, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
man.
And
And you
I'm
made it through that stuff.
I feel amazing now. Like, you know, there's days I don't feel so fantastic, but
Sure.
that's how life is.
That's human.
It's
You're human,
human.
right? Yeah.
But basically, yeah, man, like I just believe all the power of your thoughts, that negativity, I think that's growth of what spirituality is. It's you as a human dealing with, you know, when you need to be positive, you know, because everybody has like this bad judge and victim thing in their head. You
Sure.
suck, you whatever. Going through that process, correcting your mental negativity, um, that is spirituality. And I never thought about
Mm,
that before because it's testing your human character, it's testing
mm.
where you're going in life, and you don't realize that like the more positive you are, you get everything done you want. You know, the more negative you are, you know, you just can't do. I mean, I get so depressed you can't move. You know,
Yeah, and I find that you attract negative situations when you're feeling like that. And
for sure.
I really believe it all stems from the emotions you have and the emotions you give to other people. So if or yeah, that they receive from you based on your actions. So you are changing the world right now as much as you may not feel like you're much more significant than you think you are. And I'm not talking about just you, but everyone,
Absolutely.
even me, everyone is very, everyone needs to just realize that their life will get better if they can feel better about themselves and make better choices. I really think it comes from your choices. What are you doing? Are you eating good? Are you helping someone? Are you making the right choices? Are you sure? Because a guy's driving an airplane and he thinks it's the right choice to stay low because he thinks that there's nothing under. He flies and hits the mountain, because it was his choice. He could have went up and been safer, you know, but instead he went low and whatever.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of people died, and it's all from your choices. So, um, what you're doing, are you gonna go work out today? Or are you gonna go to Dairy Queen and like pig out?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Uh,
Like I worked out before even coming on here because I know it'd make me like
me too.
feel better,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But that's what you got to do, man. Is like all that. I think everybody, since we're all connected, are going through things, and sometimes you got to know, like if somebody's got something, maybe there's a stupid comment or like someone. Sometimes people are
Yeah.
just trying to reach out. Like we got to realize we're all children disguised in adult clothing. Like we're really just the
Right.
same kids we were. We're just taught to now get a job and then you got to act this way. Probably
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me, which you're probably already okay, is it took me a while to not live through the idea of society and my parents. So
Mm.
like, people will live their entire lives through their mom and dad, and they can't do it until they die. Then the person will die, and then they can live their life. So like, for
Mm.
me, I've had a complete transformation in the way my outlook has been. So yeah,
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing, man. I'm glad you've found that because I found it too, but many people don't, and they feel stuck, and they don't have like friends to help be with them, or they have the wrong friends. People stuck with that. So I'd say it's a big part of that too, and it kind of blends with what you said before. Um, Accepting the negative things in your life, just accepting that there are going to be people who send you like shitty comments, right? And you could let it ruin your day, or you could accept that people aren't as awake as you to know that everything matters. So like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like people are just gonna. That's how just some people are, and you just have to accept that. And I think a huge important part would be like having your energy be like bulletproof, where
I like
you,
that.
yeah, having bulletproof energy. And I just kind of like thought of that, but like that makes a lot of sense. Like have bulletproof energy, and the way you could do that is by making the right decisions, right? Drinking more water, sleeping, like going to sleep early, waking up early. If you want to be healthy, wealthy, strong, and wise, go to sleep early and wake up when you rise, or something like that. Wake up early when at rise, or something like that. So, yeah, wake up early. Uh, and then when you wake up early, do what makes you happy, right? I have time to play the drums, play the guitar, do all this different stuff, find out what I really want to do, and right now, what I think I really want to do, well, I know this is what I want to do right now, and that could change, but that's fighting right now. Yeah, I love it, but I'm also doing other stuff. I'm working a bunch of jobs so I can pay for, all my passions and stuff, and just try to make my life better. But it's not all good. Bad things happen. I landed on my neck. I can't trick for a little while. I'm going to this gathering, and I probably won't be able to freaking trick. But
Yeah.
but it's okay because I've accepted that out of the bad comes good. Yes, I land on my neck, but I can, and yes, I can't trick right now, but I can get good at this thing.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. So explain to people
not
real
just
quick,
that.
because what that is, right? You were showed before, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a kendama. So this is the ken, this is the dama. Ken means ball, dama means stick. And also, that's not the only thing I can get good at. I get good at like whatever I want now.
Of
I don't
course.
have to just focus on one thing. But anyways, this is the goal. You wanna get it to land on this. You could do it. You could get it to. It's easier when you stand up. I was doing it sitting down, but you do stuff like this, and then there's a little hole right here. So then you would essentially try to get the
Uh,
ball onto the spike
I
like
see
that.
it. Ah, there you go. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Could
a
even
lot of
use that as like a
trickers.
ninja weapon, bro. I don't know. Just on Halloween.
Wah! Straight up. No, but a lot of trickers are using this. And they're having like competitions and stuff. You could do really cool stuff like spin it,
Wow.
and then people like, whoop, get it like that. There's competitions for it and like cash prizes.
Oh, dude,
Um,
yes. That's so
but we're
sick.
starting to see it in the tricking community.
That's sick, man. It's funny because I think weapons and things are going to be the evolution of it because it's almost like a freestyle kata anyway, and you see katas with weapons and the tricking
Mm,
kind of with. I was like waiting for that. That is the total catalyst. I could just see that, and so like there'll be champions of just the body and just their body, and then that on top of it. You know.
yeah. That's that's interesting.
Yeah, for
Huh.
sure, for sure. Is there anything you wanted to ask me? I was asking you so much things, right? Anything you were
Yeah.
curious about me?
So how long have you been training for? What have you been training? I know you started with Kempo, you said?
Yeah, so I was a young kid. My dad. So martial arts. Do you have a family that's into martial arts? Just you?
My younger brother did do it. I believe my aunt did it too. My
Okay,
dad did it.
there you go. Your
So yeah,
dad
it's in
did
my
it.
blood.
There you go. So you have lineage. So my dad was a Tang Sudo brown belt and a judo, like Olympic judo brown belt. So he had in like the 60s and 70s. So he had a base for martial arts. He was a wrestler too. And so,
Cool.
he when we were kids, he brought himself back to martial arts and tried to have us go in there. I was, I guess, up into a red belt, and
Wow.
then my dad wrote for Black Belt magazine. So, back in the
Wow.
day, Black Belt, I mean, see, you were like going, oh, for
Well, I
people.
follow them on Facebook, or I like them on
Oh,
Facebook, so I like see their stuff.
so but
Is
you're
that is your dad still like doing
no,
that?
not anymore.
Oh,
So
he
Black
sold it.
Belt
Okay.
back in the day was like the magazine. There was no social media. There was nothing like that, right? But if
Yeah.
you got in a Black Belt magazine, that's a huge deal. Like people
Yeah.
on the face of it. It was like the Rolling Stone for martial arts. I don't know, something like that.
It was that big. Wow.
Sure,
Well,
sure.
that's crazy. Wow.
I
Okay.
mean, I mean, Hoist Gracie was on it. You have Joe Rogan was on it before anybody
Oh,
knew. Oh
wow.
yeah, it's huge. There'd be like
That's
martial
crazy.
arts, like diagrams, how to perform techniques before videos. Like it's how old the magazine kind of goes.
That's
So you'd
cool.
be reading interviews. So my dad wrote for some other magazine, Hot Boat magazine. He was a car boat guy, right? Then he was like, I love martial arts. Hit them up, and he's like, hey, I wrote an article here. Let me write an article for martial arts. And they're like, okay. So me being in karate as a kid, maybe I'm trying to transition to go do a brown belt or go and do higher ranks. My dad's
Right.
gotten into kickboxing. He's always liked
That's
kickboxing.
cool.
Goes to these
Yeah.
events. takes my sensei in karate, and he upped him in meeting all these different trainers and fighters that made my sensei into like going into kickboxing. So
Wow.
he would bring him like as a camera guy and be like, "Oh, he's with me," and so we'd meet like before anybody knew who Matt Serra was. I met Matt Serra, Henzo Gracie. I met
It's
Phil Nurse, like
wow.
GSP's trainer, like way back in the day with Muay Thai, right? So all these different guys that I was just like meeting. I was just a kid. I didn't even know who they were. I was 12, maybe it was like the youngest. Because he did it for like 4 years. I think the youngest was like 9. So I've always had exposure to combat sports, the way people acted and the mindset. I mean,
Right.
I'd have athletes come up to like my dad, and they'd see him because they gotta think no social media, no phones, right? Just
Mhm.
classic how you get big, a magazine, a billboard, whatever. To be guys like they know it's my dad writing an article and be like, yo, I've been training hard, like no one gonna beat me. I'm running every day. This is the fastest. Like they're not even recorded like you see like now. They're just in the locker room and they see like he's there and just saying shit like that.
Wow.
So I was like, whoa, what is this? Like these people are like, this is a different type of people, And
Yeah.
so I got to train with someone who is friends with Ray Longo. He's like best friends with him. Master Jim Gargiulo was my original kickboxing trainer. He taught my sensei that was in karate, Sensei Mike Sensei Rifkin, his last name. So basically, got all them into doing kickboxing. This guy was a international champion. He wasn't quite a world champion, but he knew my dad just got along with him. So in and out, I'm training with these guys, and I'm just a kid. So it was like stop karate, like you're doing kickboxing now. Like this is like my dad had like the concept of like, well, this is good, but this isn't going to teach you how to like really fight. Like it's going to teach you how to defend yourself. It's going to teach you great skills. But not
Mm.
everybody that does karate is, would you say, or traditional martial arts would be like a fighter. So
Right.
I made that transition. So like I was 13 and then 14, 15. And then I'm actually like, you know what? Let me try and go get a fight. So I had a smoker as a 16-year-old,
Wow.
and I didn't like. I felt like I didn't like the feeling of it. I hurt the person, and I felt like, and a smoker's different. It's like a fight, but there's no there's no waivers, there's no like ambulance, there's no like injury thing you sign to help yourself out or anything like that. It's like whatever happens, happens. So I don't know, that experience, being really young, I wasn't ready for it, and I wanted to hang out and party with friends and do that kind of thing. And then when
Mhm.
I was 18 with it, I'm like, I want to get back and go do this, and I want a real record one. And this is how my stomach disease started. My dad already had this disease, and I exacerbated it by not knowing how to drink. So in my
Oh.
graduation party for high school, my 18th, I had Gatorade, and I put like that much. Then I put
Yeah.
Absolute vodka, and I put it like, which is the opposite of what you do. You're supposed to put a little
Oh.
up. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just drank, dude. And I wasn't a big
Oh
drinker,
no.
and like I'm like the funniest guy in the world for like 2 hours and drinking, and then
That's
after
awesome.
all that, I had a great time. I'm like gotten a huge hangover for like 4 or 5 days. My dad's
Yeah.
like, asshole,
Yeah.
that's what you get.
Exactly.
Then a week and a half goes by, and you're not supposed to be sick for over a week. So my dad's like, you got really bad alcohol poisoning. We got to call the hospital. And it was the first time I kept throwing up, and I couldn't stop. And had a hole in my esophagus. I almost have surgery, but I didn't. My lining in my stomach became very thin. So I'm a cheap date,
Mm.
by the way. I could have a couple drinks, and it's like I had sex. But
Oh.
long story short is basically, almost got my chair fucked up. Long story short is that I wanted to be a professional fighter, and that took me out of doing it for years. I went to college late. I basically did everything late.
Mm.
That from 18 on, I couldn't, even though I went to college, like I got sick on and off for up until 25, 26 years old. So
Jeez.
yeah, man, I look good, right? I'm
You,
32 years old. Do I look 32?
wow. You look great. No, not at all.
Thank you,
Not at
thank you.
all.
But I take care of myself, right? And I'm
Right.
I'm always, martial arts is something I love. Actually, comedy is like my number one love. I did comedy, stand up comedy for a while, but martial
Cool.
arts has always been before I did anything. It
Yes.
was like music, because you use
Right.
music to everything. Like there's rhythm to everything.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
there is.
martial arts is the second thing I picked up. I played guitar basically, and it was in bands. And then
Cool.
martial arts was the other thing. So everything to me is music, Rhythm and
Here's my
everything is.
guitar.
Oh, dude, you got like a dime bag looking one.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah,
All
dude.
right, you
I
gotta play
love
us a
this thing.
chop. You gotta play us a chop.
Oh man. All right, I got you. Oh, I got a pick right here.
Hold on the
Dude, I
story,
got
folks.
picks on deck right here. Hell yeah.
Rock out, man.
All right, tell me if you know what this is.
Yeah.
You know what song that is?
Yeah, it's Nirvana. It's Come As You Are. I was gonna fuck around, but yeah, it's cool.
Dude, I've been playing the uke though, and like I just do simple stuff, but like I love how just like how it sounds.
Oh, okay. You're not bad.
I was just doing this like at the gathering. I was just playing the uke for like
Dude, I don't know why, but
for
I
so
totally
long.
feel that. That sounds epic. I don't know why.
It was a vibe, dude. And like there was a point where like I don't know, I was just playing like in the corner chilling. Everybody like went off and did whatever, and like I was just still there for like 45 minutes just playing like, and then like they all came back. They're like, "Damn, you're still playing, dude. You're sick. You just like the vibe, like hell yeah."
So you gotta be, man. But yeah,
That's it.
I love music too. I forget where I last left off, but yeah, I love all that
Martial
stuff.
arts you were talking about.
Yeah, well, the sickness and stuff. But anyway, long story short, like if people, they don't really know. I don't know how many people know, but basically, I have this whole martial arts brand I have is to like basically facilitate yourself to be the best version of yourself. Like if you're sick and you've went through something, like I wanted everyone to look through me. Like I had a sickness. I'm like literally going back and to fight. Like I literally am going to do that, but not because I'm going to be in UFC. No, that's your goal. That's cool. I actually just want the experience to test myself as a human being and as a martial artist. And I always wanted to do it when I was younger, and I was always telling myself like, "Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old." This like. I realized like I'm not, and like if I'm the healthiest I am now, like let me go and chase that. And
Right.
maybe it's not my pinnacle dream, but let me tell you something. If I have a goal of like, hey, I want to be up and do something pro, that is a reasonable goal, and I can be
100%.
an excellent coach with that, and I love to teach people too, and so that's basically my path is like with martial arts is like it's just a vehicle for my personal human growth, and right now that's what Warrior Republic is basically about, and meeting people like you at tricking. I wanted to attach myself with that
Yeah.
because that is the most unique thing tricking is probably one of the most unique things I've ever seen.
It is, and it's one of the same. That's why I love it. Honestly, like the same. There's nothing like it. Like at least that we know of at this point. But like the fact that humans can actually do this, like with their bodies, like you can swing off one leg and do 3 spins and land on the same leg and do like another 3 spins, like into like a double backflip. Just like watching that and then like being taught like the steps and like the progression and like taking months, years, like you know like just to learn a trick and landing it, like it feels so good. Like nothing feels better than like it's like I don't know, like
Yeah, like you can't play a
there's
video
something.
game and get that. Like you spend so many hours and it's your physical body and your mental.
It's your body. You feel it in your body, and then you're sore the next day, but you're like good sore, and you're like, oh God. But like,
It's
yes, yeah,
amazing,
I'm
man.
like so
Keep doing what
sore.
you're
But
doing, dude. Like the fact that you can even do it a little bit. It's like I almost like we had a ridiculous thought. Like I'm like, this is so weird, and incredible. Like I think if we are outside and you saw a bunch of people do this, like in a mass grove, like aliens wouldn't land. They'd be like, oh, what the hell are these crazy humans doing? Just fucking flipping around and shit. It seriously is that wild. You're like, humans can do, and more than one human can do this? Like, this is insane.
yeah,
So,
yeah, and we can teach other people to do it, and that's why tricking is starting to grow because like you can do it. Anyone can do it. Whether it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. It doesn't matter if you're like fat or skinny. Like you can do it. If you have one leg, you could probably do something.
right.
You know,
Guys, if you're going through anything, you can do it. If you
and
have.
and like I said earlier, it's meditation.
Mm,
It's a good way to relieve your stress, or not even stress, but ex, express your emotion. So Michael Guthrie, even he mentioned one of his interviews too. Him and I, when he said this, I'm like, yeah, like me too. Like that's literally it. Like that's the secret. You want to trick with your emotions.
mm,
It's like
mm.
a painting. on the floor. So like the floor is your canvas and your body is a paintbrush and your mind is like what's going to get you to like make this beautiful painting.
Wow, I love that. That was
That's
beautiful.
how artists paint too. They have this picture in their mind and they just, some of them don't, like some art I do. I don't know what I want it to look like, but I just do like cool lines, like Zentangles is
Mm.
what they're called. And like I'll make this giant poster out of small little detail like lines and it all looks so sick. But I didn't know what it would look like after. But that's concentration, that's what's in common with the other thing I was just talking about.
Absolutely. But yeah, everybody, you can do anything, whether you have an ailment or whatever it is, man. Find
This is
out the
such a
thing you want to do.
positive podcast. I love it.
Oh
I
man,
love this.
that's
This
what
is
I'm
good.
about. That's what I'm about, dude. Positive vibes, good energy,
That's
helping
that's
people.
it. That's it. Like you guys can do anything and everything that you want to do, and that's honestly like what I'm trying to express to people.
Absolutely.
Another question for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool. Shoot.
So, where do you see Warrior Republic in like 5 to 10 years?
So, that's a great question. I really see it. So you gotta like have a goal in mind and not copy somebody else. So like at first when I did this, I was like, oh well, I wanted to be like Tap Out, and but not like Tap Out because they had douchebag guys wear it at the end. So I wanted it to be like it's an elite group of people that are martial artists. That like when you wear Warrior Republic, you know that like this isn't somebody who's just like wearing a Tap Out shirt like some guy that wants to start a fight. Like they are into the sport. You know, they are somebody who respects the martial arts. They,
Yeah.
basically have the whole culture of like everything. It's not just the fighting aspect. It's about from if you're into karate or tricking. So that was the original thing of it, and I was trying to. It was too much copying Tap Out. What I see in the future for it is being like a facilitation of like a one-stop shop for everything martial arts. I want
Mm,
inspiration videos. I want you're gonna learn how to do certain moves. You're gonna learn how to do tricking. I want to have interviews with people. I want it to be. It's basically going to be turning from a clothing company to like a media company. Basically, is where I see
I
it
love
in
that.
5 years. And I never wanted it to be about clothing. Even though like it's hard to sell stuff. It really is. It's hard to like
Right.
based on people's emotions to get people to buy things. But I never wanted it to be about that as much as having something people feel they can identify and be like, no, this is how I feel too. Like I like martial arts. I like the way he's preaching. I feel like the same way. I want martial arts to be like this. Like I don't like the way Dana White shows martial arts. Like I want to keep it traditional, and then I want to
Right.
show people as much love that I see from it that other people don't know. Like, I consider myself the biggest martial arts fan that ever existed because I'm into tricking, I'm into bare knuckle boxing, Lethwei,
I
Muay
can feel the
Thai.
passion.
Yeah, like
Yes.
usually if you're into a martial art thing, like, oh, I'm just into MMA. Oh, I'm just into boxing. Like I know Jordan Burroughs, like I know even wrestling stuff. I may not know as much as a wrestler. I did wrestle
Right.
once for a year in high school. But
Mm,
basically, man, like yeah, I'm very passionate about all that because I understand from being very young and being with the black belt magazine stuff. I saw the like the power of these human beings at an early age and just being around that. I mean, maybe it's corny to say being around greatness, but being around that energy, I wanted that for myself.
yes.
And I just didn't really
Yes.
get that until now. So maybe you could say Warrior Republic is a compensation of trying to do that and then making other people have that as well and bring that into their life and show that martial arts saved their life because martial arts saved my life. So that's where I see in 5 years is
Dude,
it's a
wow.
media company and more people can say that martial arts has saved their life through Warrior Republic.
That's amazing. And I think this is gonna affect the world in like such a great way because there's a lot of people who don't know much about other martial arts. They'll, like you said, like, oh, I'm just into boxing. Oh, I'm just into like, let's just use that example. I'm just into boxing. I don't know anything about I don't know what MMA is. I don't know what tricking is. And they look up something boxing and they find your channel and then they like, there's like they see all this other stuff, and I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of fans and people who watch all your stuff, and I just really appreciate you, because you're helping spread the news about the tricking community too, and that's just amazing, the fact that you as a person have such a passion and like a fire in your like heart for like the world of martial arts
Well,
and
thank you,
like
man. I really appreciate that. I love you for saying that. Thank you. And another thing I wanted to tell you, by the way, like I don't know if you know, like I'm trying to do a movie, trying to make a
Cool.
movie, but making a movie is so
Right
damn
on.
hard. It's hard to put a budget with the with and getting people. So I'm
Right.
actually making a modern day kung fu movie, but instead of using CGI, I'm using trickers, and that was one of the reasons I came to your event. It was to yes, and
Oh.
I still haven't found the right people to cast, but I will. I have a whole script written and everything. But basically, man, like even a movie aside, I'd love to sponsor you and give you shorts to flip around, maybe at some competitions. You
Yeah.
cool with that?
Absolutely, man.
Cool.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
you're
really
welcome.
cool.
You're welcome. You were definitely one of the unique ones. You know, like not I knew you weren't like up like the highest levels even at the place, but man, like some of you
Right.
guys got unique like styles. I thought your style was unique, and a lot of other guys. And
Thank you, man. A lot of people have been like reaching out to me and saying like, "Oh, I love like watching you trick. Oh, I love like just the way you move. Like it's different." And I never really understood that, but I think it's because I grew up doing martial arts, like karate, like Kempo karate, and like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, like some stuff with that, and grappling and all that. So, like, I don't know, my body just moves different. I feel like, but it feels good. And the more tricks I learn, like I'm kind of every trick I learn, I try to put my own little twist on it. Of course, like if someone tells me to do something, I'll do it their way. But after I drill it about 10, 15 times and I can do it, I'll like try to like do something like turn my hip out a little more, or maybe like like do another spin, but like, reach my hands out,
you're
do
like more
something different.
confident in the movement, and you try that.
Absolutely,
Mm,
yeah, and it makes it unique to you. So I think that's a really important part if anyone wants to get into tricking. Like, yeah, watch some tutorials, learn from coaches, but like incorporate your style and like your emotion into it. If I'm feeling like good or if I'm feeling not so good, I'm gonna trick. My trick's gonna look good either way, but like I'm, they're gonna be different. Like have a different style. So have your style unique to you, but on your like even with just you, have different styles within you. Like an angry style. I don't really get angry, but like a frustrated or maybe like a lot going on style, and like a happy like or like an excited style, like I'm about to go off, like you
huh?
know.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, yeah,
I would have
and
never
that's
guessed that.
yeah, that's literally how I feel when I trick, and that's how I trick. But tricking's the only sport that I know that I can do that. I can drum and do that too. I find drumming, music, you can do that, but tricking is very like that too. But in the ring and stuff, I feel I have to always be relaxed. I have to let go of whatever's going on
Hmm.
and just be in the zone. I'm not angry. I'm not. I'm trying to hold my excitement. You have to stay at this neutral. It's gonna go up and down, but the more you can keep it here, focusing on the breath. Meditation is literally everything, but you want to just be in the zone and just go and like explode and be quick, train.
Yes,
I think
sir.
training is important. All that stuff, dude. So,
Yes, sir. And as a kickboxer, one of the things that I would definitely, because I'm kickboxing background, really the
yeah.
only true difference between like a kickboxing and someone that's a really good boxer, like if you really want to be above the rest of the kickboxing, just study defensive boxing stuff. Like I know you know how to slip and stuff, but like
Right.
really getting that stuff down and being incredible with it, and then looking at other guys and seeing what they're doing on top of that. Man, there's guys that they're just I know how to kickbox because I just throw and then I do a kick, but they lack all the other things because it's called kickboxing. So you have to have
Yeah.
elements of boxing, but
Yeah.
you have the karate type of traditional
Right.
element too. And I just see it from a lot of things that I watch on lower levels, even like you know they're not K1, everything really under like they forget that they forget those basic
hmm
things because if you the whole thing is not to get hit, it's hit and not get hit. Remember that number one because you want to keep
Hit and
doing
not
this,
get hit.
you know.
Yeah, I know.
And then if
And
something
one,
works, you use it brutally. Because if it works a
yeah,
lot,
yeah,
keep it going, you know?
you just keep it going. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I don't want to say it because I'm just gonna say it.
Say
No,
it.
actually, I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I watch interviews, and when people do that, I'm like, "Fuck you."
Oh, yeah. You don't have to do anything you don't want to say or regret, my friend. Hey,
But either way, what I will say is, whenever you get injured, just strengthen that so that people can't use it against you in the ring, because I've had injuries where I'm screwed up somewhere, and I'm on a roll, and someone very confident steps in the ring, and they have some kind of knowledge about you. They're gonna try to. That's why I find tricking is very like a peaceful community, and I could see fighters getting a little cocky, like I'm the face of the fight game, like shit like that, like
Right.
oh, I'm the fucking like goat, fuck anyone who gets in the way, like and a lot of the bigger people, are like that, so that's how it kind of just trickles down from there. So and I find in tricking, a lot of the greats are very cool and chill, and that's how the whole community is. So I think it's important to get really good so that you can set the tone for the people who look up to you. And it's just going to like really like change the whole game depending on how many people you can get to look up to you. So that's one of the reasons why I want to get. I'm not really getting in for myself. I don't want to get in for myself. I want to get in so I can change the game in a way where it's very positive and kind of goes with that tricking vibe where
Oh, I
everyone
love that.
is
It's
cheering
great.
each other on. Everyone's like, wow, sick. Oh, that was cool too. Okay, let's see, let's see what's going on. Of course, like, for years, thousands of years, we've been like, oh, fuck him up, kill him, right? And it's
Yeah.
fun to kind of do that. But like, why does it have to be like that? You don't have to get so aggressive. You can have fun. Or sorry, you can be a fan of one person, but still have some respect for the other dude. He's training, or she or whoever, they're training their ass off. You know what I mean? Like they're working. They've been doing this, day in and night. So like, at least give them some props. Don't fucking spit at them or like throw something at them. Just because you might not even know who they are, unless they're a shitty person. They fucking like killed like
Oh, well,
shut
yeah.
up
Then,
something or
then they
something.
deserve to get kind of beat up a little bit.
Yeah, if they like did something bad, but
But hey, man, God bless you
I don't know.
doing it, my friend. Like, honestly, keep doing it. And if you get a platform like that, I know you'll do great things. And honestly, it'll just take you whatever you want time. Like, nothing is hard. It's just the currency of time. And I'll leave everybody with that.
Love it. I love that.
Anything you want
Nothing
to
is hard.
say? I want to give you extra. Anything you want to say to the world before we go? You got anything? Come on,
Get
talk.
ready. Oh, I got a low power mode. Sorry.
Oh
You see
no,
me?
I don't see you. I see you
You
now.
don't
All right,
see me?
I do see
All
you
right,
now.
cool. Good thing that didn't happen
Well,
again.
we'll definitely end on this. Not have enough power, guys.
Get ready. I'm coming. No, I'm just joking. What I'd say is perfect your craft and stay stay uh, stay focused on your grind. I would say take care of everyone you find yourself with. Help somebody today. Help somebody right now if you can. But don't get taken advantage of. Um, and I'd also say always keep your eye on the prize.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. All
That's
right.
what I will.
It's a good way to go out, guys. All right, so
Sorry again. Hold on.
we got him as a C. Christian Matthews, Chris Matthews, dude, it's awesome talking to you, and I hope I wish you the best, my friend. And let me tell you, next time we meet up, I'll let you talk to you about the movie, and we'll get in contact with you and send you those shorts real soon, my friend.
I love it, Matt. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. And yeah, check me out at Hydrate HYDRA. I'll be posted on there. Plan on making some content very soon. Making beats and stuff online right now, and you could find that all on my Instagram. So
What's your Instagram for your regular for tricking? Because people obviously like your tricking.
yeah, Hydrate HYDRA.
Oh, so it is Hydrate with it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Have an awesome
I'm
day,
there.
man.
All right,
Peace.
guys. Peace.